Greetings, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete here, and welcome to another episode in my hard debate series that I collaborate with my good buddy Carlin. What you do is, after you watch my video, you can go to Carlin's channel if you haven't done so already. I'll have a link to his channel in the description down below. You watch his video with the same title, and then he'll have the community tab open on his page. And if you'd like, you can vote for who you thought had the better argument. And there's also a tie option, because pretty often people say, both you guys did a really good job. I think it's a tie. So you have that option available as well. And whatever our topic is this week, we love reading what your answer is in the comments down below, because there's no right or wrong answers in these. It's all opinions. We just love talking horror movies. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. So whatever your answer is, please put it in the comments down below. And you can cut and paste on his and cut it in mine. It doesn't matter. We're both going to read them. So, what we are going to discuss this week, we're debating an interesting topic that I think is going to be really fun to talk about. What is the best horror movie where nobody dies? I'm selecting an iconic movie in the horror genre, directed by a legend in the business, Tobe Hooper. For me, the best horror movie where nobody dies is 1982's Poltergeist. This movie still brings excellent scares without anybody dying in it. And I feel like Poltergeist is one of the most scariest movies that I have ever watched. I still have a problem rewatching it as an adult, because as a kid, it just terrified the ever-living hell out of me. And nobody dies in the entire film. Poltergeist is well known for its ability to build tension and create a haunting atmosphere without relying on death scenes. The fear and suspense in this movie are generated through supernatural occurrences, eerie events, and the unknown, rather than relying on explicit violence. I think the film taps into psychological fear instead of physical harm. You got the fear of the unknown, the supernatural, and just like the basic disruption of everyday life. And I feel that could be more unsettling for some people rather than just explicit violence. If the viewer can relate to characters, what they're experiencing, I think it can garner more effective scares. Now, this movie focuses on the emotional impact everything is having on this family. You feel their helplessness, trying to figure out how to stop these ghosts, save their daughter. And the terror comes from the threat to the family's well-being rather than the loss of actual life. And I believe this allows the viewer to empathize with the characters on a deeper level. Poltergeist, it stands out for its innovative storytelling, how it blends supernatural elements with family drama as well, and it explores this impact of this paranormal activity on a basic suburban family, and I think it really makes it unique in the horror genre. Tobe Hooper employed effective cinematic techniques such as special effects and a memorable music score to create a chilling experience without resorting to death as a primary scare factor. He's a legend in horror. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another legendary horror movie. Not a lot of blood or gore, but a lot of people think there's tons of blood and gore in it. Now, there is some, but that movie is not as gory as a lot of people so-and-so remember it to be. And so I think Tobe Hooper proved that you don't always need graphic violence and gore and deaths to actually make a successful horror movie. Now, there's nothing wrong with all that. I feel like The Thing is the best horror movie of all time. That's what I love about the horror genre. There's something for everybody. Some people may not like gore, but they still want to fear that scare factor. And Poltergeist is a great example to bring that feeling to somebody. You can even argue that Poltergeist could be even scarier for some people. Another horror film. Now, it does only have 2 deaths, and you don't see it. Is also on the people's list of greatest horror movies of all time is The Shining. So I think that proves a movie with psychological horror can be as scary as films with lots of gore, violence, and death. Even without that graphic violence and deaths, there are some scary sequences in the movie. The tree scene is full of nightmare fuel if you ever had a tree by your bedroom window. And we all know that they used real skeletons in the pit. The dad's reaction at the end when he's yelling at Mr. Teague only about removing the gravestones and not removing the skeletons. That scene is so intense, so incredibly angry and just frightening. The look on everybody's face, it makes you feel like, it also makes you think, well, what if my home was built on a graveyard? You also have the clown under the bed, and I'm sure that freaked out many kids who watched this movie. To have an innocent child's toy just come alive, wrap all these long tendrils around you, try and drag you to Lord knows what. It's such an effective scene in the movie, and the young child actor does a great job just looking absolutely terrified. This entire movie is well shot, well acted, everything. You also have when the mom, she was assaulted on the bed. She's climbing over the ceiling like Spider-Woman. You got when the mom is in the hallway trying to get to her kids, and you get that freaky looking demon ghost blocking the door. She just looks terrified. I mean, you see somebody look so terrified in a film, and you got the score playing, you got the atmosphere. It brings you in to feel that fear that they're experiencing. And all that was done without any deaths in this entire movie. I mean, you can't argue that Poltergeist isn't a legendary film in the horror genre. What has it done for the horror landscape? The older generation probably gets this. Newer generation probably not. They don't know what static on a TV screen is. But for people who grew up in this movie are really familiar with it, the simple shot, I should say, of static on a tube television probably still makes some people feel uncomfortable. And it's hard to look at a tube television with the static on the screen and not think, they're here, because it's just played so well. It's a terrifying thing to think about once the movie starts to, you get more and more involved into the movie and everything, and you're realizing no one dies at all the entire movie, but it still gives me the goosebumps. Still scares me the way I love to be scared with the horror movie. It was like 10, 15 years I had gone without watching this movie because it hit me so hard when I was a kid, because it makes you think, oh, what would happen if there was a ghost in my house? Just that feeling of helplessness, not being able to do anything, trying to protect your family. You got your daughter inside a television set. How the hell are you going to go inside and get her out of this television set? She's in this otherworldly realm with all these weird things going on. It builds a sense of unease and tension, and it is a terrifying horror movie done exceptionally well. The cinematography, the score, the acting, everything is so well done without any deaths. This movie is way more scary than dozens and dozens of horror movies with large body counts. It just goes to show you that a movie doesn't have to have gory, violent, horrific deaths at all to be a genuinely scary horror movie. So I do feel that Poltergeist has stood the test of time, still holds up after 42 years. So when talking about great horror movies that can still bring you scares, I feel that Poltergeist is an excellent choice for the best horror movie where nobody dies. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now please go to Carl's channel if you haven't done so already. I have a link in the description down below. Watch his video with the same title, see what he has to say, and then if you'd like, you can go to the community tab on his page and vote for who you thought had the better argument. Don't forget there's a tie option as well. Also, please let us know in the comments down below what you think the best horror movie is where nobody dies. I love reading comments. It keeps us motivated to keep doing these fun videos. So thanks again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell on both of our videos. We both put out excellent content every week, and I hope keep us motivated to help talking about all the love we have for the horror genre. And we'll see you here in 2 weeks where we debate another topic in the horror landscape. Should be a lot of fun. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. Remember, with great kills, there must also come great nows.